Hello everybody and welcome to Luxury Benefits channel. My name is Sviatoslav and today we will talk about importance of water for human body and eyes, and what is pure water, and about amount of water consumption needed. Water importance for human body and eyes. Dehydration is one of the causes of poor brain function and memory, and all because the brain consists of 80% of water. It turns out a little water, poor brain function, dehydration. With a lack of water in the body, less tear fluid is produced, which moisturizes the surface of the eye. But tear fluid is a good antibacterial agent, which is able to destroy most of the bacteria and viruses. In this way, dry eyes are not only unpleasant, but also dangerous, as the risk of infection increases and the development of various diseases. Nourishment of the eye in the area of the lens is carried out not with blood, but with the aqueous special concentrated nutrient solution. If a person drinks a little water, it will be thick and will not circulate well. The most dangerous, the consequence is dehydration of the lens, its compaction and development of cataracts. Does the body always signal to us that it's lack of water? Unfortunately not. Intracellular dehydration develops over time, and the person at this time will not even feel a dry mouth. The feeling of thirst becomes less pronounced with age. Instead of having a glass of water, often a person starts to eat. If you follow yourself, you will notice that the desire for a snack is quite often actually the desire to drink, and enough to drink water or eat a juicy fruit so that hunger goes away. Regularly receiving less water, the kidneys begin to work poorly. Part of the function burdens the liver, which exhausts over time. As a result, inhibited all metabolic processes, fats begin to break down poorly, and toxins are not all removed from organism. Extra pound, frequent and severe headaches, dry skin with peeling and brittle weak nails, dry eyes and blurred vision. All of that are often attributed to age and stress, but the result of a constant lack of fluid in the body. What is a pure water? It would seem that there is a lot of water around. She's in rivers, lakes, sea, oceans. She's rain or snow, hanging in fog, but not all water is suitable for use and keep you healthy. Only clean water is good for the body. What is pure water? The content of dissolved chemicals, hardness salts, iron, heavy metals, radionuclides and many other in clean water must comply with international standards. Clean water shouldn't contain undesirable taste, odors, chlorine compounds. Clean water should not be contaminated with bacteria. Now there are drinking water supply standards in which all the bacteriological, organoleptic and toxic chemical indicators complied. They are not once and for all established and change from time to time. Sometimes people think that the purest water is distilled water. This is true, but in that case, the concepts of clean and drinking are not equal to each other. Distilled water isn't good at all for drinking. It can be only consumed if there is no other choice. Distilled water is obtained by distillation. That is, it may contain volatile organic impurities that were contained in the water before distillation. distillation. There is no minerals and this is harmful to the body. And precisely because of the lack of any mineral substances, it seems tasteless. The benefits of mineral water are defined in layers of the lands through which she passed, having absorbed various minerals. Of course, most often the biggest criticism is caused by tap water. She can be turbid after passing through old pipes or due to problems with water intakes. For disinfection, it's chlorinated and it acquires a characteristic taste and smell. Often in these traces of heavy metals such as lead, copper and zinc and found in water. The older the pipes, the more rust accumulates in them. According to regulations, chlorine concentrations in tap water are not hazardous for human health. However, for people with allergic diseases, the presence of chlorine, even in such low concentration, greatly impairs well-being. In addition, chlorine interacts with organic compounds found in tap water, with the formation of quite harmful organochlorine compounds. Typically, tap water is boiled and this destroys bacteria in the water and reduces the content of highly volatile components. However, due to the boiling of water, an increase in the concentration of non-volatile impurities in it, for example, salts or heavy metals. But useful substances such as calcium and magnesium salts settle on the walls of the kettle in the form of a solid white bloom. It has now become clear that water purification is necessary. By some signs, you can determine what kind of disadvantages water has. Green and brown smudges on dishes, sulfuric and hydrochloric acids are present in the water, fishy, musty or woody odor, organochlorine compounds are present. The formation of dark spots on dishes and silver items, the presence of yellowish black stains on the surface of the sink, there is dissolved hydrogen sulfide. The smell of phenol, industrial waste water got into the water. Salty taste, high content of magnesium and sodium salts. Formation of stains on aluminum dishes, high alkali content, metallic taste, high iron content, darkening and corrosion of the stainless steel sink, high chloride content, reddish brown sediment, there is oxidized iron in the water washed out from rusty pipes. Turbid water is a high air content due to faulty pump or presence of methane. Amount of water consumption needed. Speaking about a person, usually first of all, people remember the skeleton and muscles, then various organs, and the main part of human body is water. In a human body, with a body weight of 68 kilograms or 150 pounds, contains about 41 liter or 11 gallons of water. The brain consists of 80% of water. In the muscle, it's 76%. In bones, about 25%. Blood is 92% of water. The younger the person, the more water he contains. A newborn child has 70% of it. With age, the amount of water gradually decreases, and this directly affects the deterioration of the work of all internal organs. All vital processes in the human body takes place in the aquatic environment. It regulates body temperature, humidifies the air entering the body, delivers nutrients and oxygen to all cells of the body, promotes the absorption of nutrient substances by organs, removes waste from life processes. A person can live without water for only a few days. Water loss less than 2% body weight leads to a feeling of thirst. With a loss of 6 to 8%, fainting occurs condition at 10% hallucination, 10 to 20% critical and very life-threatening. Water in the body can be free, which forms the basis of extracellular and intracellular fluid. The amount of incoming and outgoing water is regulated as follows in a way that one feeds the other. With urine, sweat and exhaled air, a person loses 2.5 liters of water every day. With increased physical activity or high ambient temperatures, losses liquids can reach 6 to 10 liters per day. About 50% of the daily volume is excreted through the kidneys, water with sweat through the skin 32%, with exhaled air through the lungs 13%, through the intestines 5%. The persons compensate for the lost water by consuming it. In a healthy adult, the amount of water required can be calculated. It's approximately 40 milliliters per 1 kilo of weight. The total daily need for water in an adult is determined by the nature of the performed work, environmental conditions, and the quality of food eaten. With food, a person receives 600 to 800 milliliters of water daily. For example, boiled meat contains 40% of water, fish almost 70%, scrambled eggs also about 70%. Porridge contains up to 80% of water, bread about 50%, in vegetables and fruits up to 90% of water. In general, 50 to 60% of dry food consists of water. With a conditional weight of 70 kilograms or 155 pounds, a person should receive 2.8 liters of water per day. It's better if the consumption of this amount of water is distributed evenly throughout the day. Usually in the morning it's 200-250 milliliters of water. Before lunch 200-250 milliliters with the first course and 200-250 milliliters with the third. At dinner 250 milliliters of water, and 2 hours before bedtime 200 milliliters of water. In total it turns out about as much as necessary to maintain water balance. Sometimes people drink more of these numbers, sometimes less. The individual role also plays a role here. The need and characteristic of nutrition. Someone drinks a little but actively eats apples or other fruits, or maybe loves a vegetable stew or a cucumber salad, and this gets necessary amount of liquid. Excessive water intake for a healthy person doesn't have negative effects, but with diseases of the heart and kidneys, this may be undesirable. These organs begin work with an additional load, the pressure rises. With sweat and urine, some amount of mineral salts and vitamins is lost, which weakens the body. If there is significant lack of water in the body, that is dehydration, the loss of water exceeds the intake and formation of it in the body, thickening of the blood develops. At the same time, the work of the brain worsens. Oxygen supply into tissue conditions are created, the formation of blood clots in the blood vessels. The signal about the lack of water in the body through nerve receptors enters the head and the brain, and the result is a feeling of thirst. It is expressed by a feeling of dryness in the mouth. In addition, salts of various substances affect the water content in the body and its metabolism. For example, sodium salts retain water in the body, while calcium and potassium salts increase urination and promote water excretion. That is why after drinking milk or a large amount of vegetables or fruits noticeably increases the volume of urine excreted. Pure water without unnecessary impurities and technical or chemical processing allows create the best environment for the course of biochemical processes in the body. For a city person, in addition to the usual required amount of water 30 to 40 milliliters per 1 kilogram of body weight, an additional dose is needed about 1 to 2 liters in excess of the norm, depending on the body weight and physical and physiological stress. It is recommended to drink more liquid in case of infectious diseases, poisoning, high body temperature, liver diseases, and generally for good health. Thanks for watching this video to the end. Today we discussed importance of water for human body and eyes, pure water, and about amount of water consumption needed. Subscribe to my channel and we'll see you again.